Guys, I have picked out 6 knives that I absolutely recommend that are at or under $100. All these are great choices. They meet all of the criteria of what I would want in a knife, but they hit well above their weight class. So stay tuned all the way to the end because I've done it in descending order, but the one that is the cheapest, I think is the best bang for your buck. So I saved what I think is the overall best for last. I said in the intro, guys, we're going to look at these 6 knives that are either at or under $100. We're going to go from most expensive to least expensive. So we're going to start right here with this one, which is the Tucson TS301. This is a knife we've seen on the channel a few times. This is probably my favorite Tucson knives design. Now, this one is in 14C28N. The one you're going to see a link to down below is in D2, but these things were done incredibly well. Micarta and carbon fiber, beautiful ambidextrous thumb studs on these. You've got this full scale that completely covers the liner, but it's more akin to a frame lock than it is a liner when you look at how thick these are. You've got access to your lock bar insert if you need to tighten that at all. You've got access to it, and it's windowed in there, and it just is a great overall look. The knife itself is very slicey. You've got one of the best blade grinds that I got last year on a knife. Pocket carry in on this is great. The handles are nice and contoured and thick, which means that you've got a good grip that fills your hand. The action on this is stellar for a knife that's at the $100 mark. You can reverse flick off the thumb studs, and the jimping on it is really good. They've done one of my favorite finishes on this, which is a stone wash prior to, and then do the grind on it where you get this almost rainbow effect, that opalescent, that pearlescent effect on the blade. And the blade shape is awesome. Comes down nice and broad, sweeps up, and you've got this really cool clip point to it where the blade almost is, where the whole knife is almost an S from tip to tail. It comes down and then up again. I just love the way this knife looks. As far as cutting, this is one of the best cutters of the group here. This thing in 14C28N is great. You can still find them in 14C28N, but predominantly they are in D2. So Tucson's has had some knives that have fell short, and some of their heat treats have been not the greatest, but this is an awesome knife. So this is a new knife company. I know you guys just saw this in the 15 knives this year, 15 best knives this year, I think. This is the CK01 by KATSU Knives, and I had to throw it in here too because for $89, you're not going to find much better of a knife. This thing is super high quality. Some beautiful carbon fiber on this. The liners on this are just about perfect. The way it feels in hand, super comfortable without a pocket clip. It comes with a horizontal carry sheath that you can use to carry scout carry. The action on this with this top flipper is incredible. This thing cuts really well. When you're looking at $89, this is very much a budget banger. This is a very good bargain. The 154 CM on this is done really well. I have not had 154 CM that seems to hold an edge, so I'm going to say their heat treat is stellar, and it is a full ground convex on this that just makes it a cutting beast. It is so comfortable to cut with because you've got these nice radiused scales that come around, fill your hand. There's no hot spots on this at all. Really secure grip. Like I said, action on it is great. Your access to the lock bar is just about perfect. And then, like I said, when you just look at the package you get with this knife, you cannot go wrong for $89. And that's why I'm saying, like, even their more expensive options, the $179 version of this in ZDP 189 and titanium with the pocket clip, still an absolute bargain considering a knife comparable to this that you would get from Rockstead would be $1,500 to $1,700. They did a really good job executing on this. They've been a great company to work with as far as an affiliate. So they really knocked it out of the park with this one. I think this is about the best $89 I've ever spent on a knife. I've never been as happy with a knife at that price point that I've bought. So there you go, the KATSU CK01. This is the Tresa knives of vlands, and this Tresa has, I've handled several Tresa knives and they've all been great, but this one is absolutely incredible. This is in their tactical line. This one is one of the this is kind of an enigma. This is one of the first knives I've had with this blade profile that slices really, really well. Comes down to this incredible piercing tip. You've got a 154 cm blade that is ground very, very thinly all the way down. In hand, really comfortable. They did micarta on this that they did amazing job. It's beautiful. It's a liner lock with really good access. The action on this is great. You've got reversible thumb studs that are a little tight. I can't reverse flip off of this one as well, but you can get up in there to do it. The action on, like I said, really, really smooth. Nice deep carry pocket clip that sits deep in your pocket so you can carry this with other knives. There also is the really cool factor of this is something I really like in knives that people have started doing, is adding a backspacer that's made out of the same material as the handles, which it kind of gets you a little bit of a cheaper option because you've already got the material, but it also gives it a nice look. And then you've got these liners that are just right up against, polished right up against and coated. So really, really good job on this. Running on bearings, you've got a decent amount of jimping up here so you can get a good grip. This thing is a very, very comfortable cutter, but if you're looking for something that's more along the tactical lines, this might be something you're looking for. So there you go, the vlands by Tresa Knives. So this is the Rosecraft Blades Tarconis, and for $69, you're not going to find much of a better knife. This is an awesome, awesome knife, especially if you're a guy with bigger hands, but you want a smaller knife, because they did a really good job with these handles. They are large. So you've got an ARRPM 9 blade that's nice and broad. This is kind of an outdoor style knife. This is something that would not be out of character for me to be carrying in a lockback fashion when I was growing up. So you've got a front flipper on this, reversible thumb studs that you can reverse flick off of, coated blade, ARRPM 9, nicely done. It's a nice robust grind on this, but it's also not too thick to allow it to cut really well. It comes in a bunch of different color combinations. I love their black and red handles. I find them really attractive. There's no reason a knife can't be really functional and attractive. Deep carry pocket clip on this. This is one of their typical broad at the back, skinny at the front ones that just feels so good in hand for a deep carry pocket clip. And it is a true deep carry, so you can carry this forward in your pocket. This is a nice beefy knife, another one with really good contoured handles back and forth. You got reversible pocket clip. It's running on bearings. Liner lock access is really good. And this is, listen to it, this is a snappy, snappy knife. It just slams open. Top flipper on this is pretty good. You've got enough of a travel past the point here so that you can, you can flip it. I've got oil on my hands. I don't dislike this top flipper. Typically, I'm not a fan of top and front flippers, but this one's really good. And they didn't do much weight reduction on this, which I like. On a beefy knife like this, it feels in proportion to how it should. It doesn't feel light, but it also has a nice neutral balance right up near the pivot where I like it. And you've got this low spot here. It just sits in your hand so well. I can get a full 4-finger grip on this, and it just cuts so well in that grip. It is a nice beefy knife with great action. So there you go, the Rosecraft Blades Tarconis. This next knife is the new knives companion, and right now this knife is $40, $39 to $40. This is a knife that absolutely surprised me. They sent me this, and I was honestly not expecting to like it. This has got all kinds of stuff going for it. You've got this really nicely done hollow ground D2 blade that is nice and broad, almost has like a Bowie-esque look to it. This beautiful swedge. It's got some super smooth action on it for a budget knife. And I'm not talking about with any play. This thing is a well done liner lock, G10 handles, ultra deep carry pocket clip beyond the end. It is reversible, and this is such a comfortable cutter because it's just got a handle on it that is super comfortable and is very reminiscent of the Elementum in the way it feels in hand. Very different, but similar in the way it feels. It does remind me of that. You've got left and right-handed thumb studs that are just domed thumb studs, but they work really well. And this does, if you like front flippers, it does have a front flipper, top flipper. This thing has held up really well. The D2 on it obviously is heat treated well. I have used this a lot, and I've only had to touch this up on a ceramic rod and on a strop, and it has held up really well. This is a nice carry in your pocket because there has been weight reduction, which gives it kind of a tip forward balance that I like, but that broad blade on that just really does a good job when you're cutting. You've got a good bit of flat here and a good bit of belly on a relatively short blade, which means it's pretty functional for almost anything you'd want to do. This is a knife that has found its way in my pocket a lot more than I ever expected it to. In case you didn't know though, they have another version of this. I'm just going to show you, not because of this. Just a real quick shout out because they were cool enough to send me one. This is their removable blade version of this that they're doing as a Kickstarter. So you might want to check this out on Kickstarter. It's the Compan utility knife. So yeah, but you can check this. Like I said, there'll be links to these knives down below. This is one that absolutely surprised me a lot considering the price point. Now, I did this in reverse order because I kind of wanted to save what I think is the best for last, because in all honesty, at the price point, this is probably the best knife on this list when you look at overall value. This is the Firebird Knives FH922. It's in D2. I would expect this knife to cost a lot more. This is a great knife at $25. I absolutely love how it feels in hand, how it cuts. I've used it enough. I've had to sharpen it a couple times. It does have a couple little minor flaws, but it's a $25 knife that you can definitely look past that. Really nice, comfortable pocket clip. The G10 has been textured, but not overly textured. It's not aggressive. Reversible pocket clip with a placeholder. Even though it's orange, it's an attractive knife. The action on this is just awesome for a budget knife. Weight reduction, and it gives it a good weight forward feel. It doesn't feel too light. It is very comfortable in hand. I was extremely surprised by this knife. The liners have been polished, and you can see it gives you that good look. This comes in multiple colors. I have been really, really happy with all of the Firebird knives that have come in. This one, I think, is probably the best. I have actually purchased a few of these to give as gifts because they are such a good knife. You can pick these up on Amazon. Like I said, I'll have links to them down below. D2 is a really good steal in this because it's budget steel, but it also holds an edge very well. This has really good edge geometry, cuts so well, and it's not at all an unattractive knife. I'm very surprised at how good some of these budget Firebird knives are, but this one in particular has really stood out as probably the best knife I have seen from them. So that being said, guys, that was all 6 of the budget knives. Let's turn this around. We'll do some final thoughts and send you guys out about your day. Yeah, this knife hits way, way above its weight class. I have not been this impressed with a small little budget knife in a long time. I'm so glad that Jared turned me back onto the Ganzo Firebird stuff. I had shied away from him from a very long time because I kind of looked at him as like a knockoff brand, but they have got some really, really well-made budget knives. This is, like I said in a video, the best $25 knife you're going to find on Amazon. I think it's probably one of the best knives under $100 right now when you look at it all around. I cannot tell you how much I really like this little knife. So that's it on this one, guys. If you like them, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down, but tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. I know I threw a Coffee Brand Coffee ad in there, but they are my primary sponsor, so I'm going to talk about them again. They're an awesome company to work with. They have been providing me some of the best opportunities anyone has ever given me. I also have Tempered Trail over there down below. There's links down below, but you can use the coupon code Crazy Sharp, all one word, either at Tempered Trail or Coffee Brand Coffee to save at checkout. Coffee Brand Coffee is now 10% year-round. You can also use that coupon code at Rosecraft Blades and Fair & Forged Knife Works. They're not affiliates, but I do have a discount code there for you. I also have got an Amazon store down below. You can take that link, pin it to your browser, use it for anything you're going to buy on Amazon, and it supports the channel, but it doesn't cost you anything at checkout. I also have got a membership down below. It's all tier-based. Everyone gets access to my Gilded server. I've also opened one up for everyone. There'll be a link to that down below as well. But the members one has got a lot more features. I also do exclusive content for the members, and all of the members get early access to my videos. Baseline and premium guys are entered into giveaways that I do. I try to do them about quarterly that are separate from anything I do on YouTube. You have to be in those tiers, and the premium guys have got access to a sharpening tutorial series here on YouTube behind the paywall. Guys, that's it on this one. This was a lot of fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I'll see you in the next video.